Hello my dear students, welcome to class of physics. In this class we discuss about the nuclear reaction and what is the Q value of any nuclear reaction and how one can measure that Q value of that nuclear reaction. Okay, so everyone knows any unstable or we can say that is highly large mass nucleus always produces radioactivity. Okay, that means we can say in case of the nucleus having higher mass number, they are generally unstable in nature. Okay, and that such type of nucleus can be break down by natural process, and some nucleus need some external agent to take out that radioactive disintegration. Okay, that is why we discuss the radioactivity as a natural process and another one is a artificial process. Okay, so generally a nuclear reaction involves that radioactivity. Okay, that means we can say in a nuclear reaction we just have to take the disintegration of any nucleus. Okay, so that means we can say in nuclear reaction a nucleus of any one element changes to another nucleus of, or we can say changes to another element. Okay, that means we can say that simply we can define a nuclear reaction is a reaction which involves the change of a stable nucleus of any one element into another element of nucleus. Okay, that means in case of nuclear reaction one nucleus disintegrate to give another nucleus. Okay, and that reaction always takes place with the help of bombarding particle, or we can say that is a projectile. Okay, so that means we can say every nuclear reaction should takes place if there is a bombarding particle or a projectile. Okay, so that means we can say as we define, okay, as we define the nuclear reaction as the reaction which involves change of a stable nucleus of any one element into the nucleus of another element. Okay, and in case of nuclear reaction there is always a collision takes place in between a stable nucleus with the projectile or bombarding particle. Okay, always when we make bombardment with a stable nucleus with any projectile or any bombarding particle, and this can happen breaking of a nucleus. Okay, and that breakdown of nucleus forms another nucleus with some evolution of energy. Okay, so we can take a general scheme of nuclear reaction like a nuclear reaction in which there is a collision between target nucleus. Okay, that target nucleus, that means we can say this target nucleus is a stable nucleus. Okay, with the bombarding particle, suppose that bombarding particle we take as I, that is the incident particle or projectile or bombarding particle. Okay, so I, that is the incident particle, and when that incident particle is fall on a stable nucleus and there is a collision between that incident particle and that target nucleus, then what happens? There is a disintegration of that stable nucleus, and because of disintegration there is a formation of another nucleus, suppose a product nucleus. Okay, the another nucleus which is formed, suppose we named as a product nucleus. Okay, with the emission of some outgoing particles. Okay, emission of some outgoing particles, or we can say emission of gamma rays. Okay, and there is always some energy evolved or absorbed during this nuclear reaction. Okay, and suppose we measure or suppose we name that energy used or the energy evolved from that nucleus reaction as Q. Okay, then we can measure that Q value of that nuclear reaction. Okay, so this is the general scheme of a nuclear reaction. Okay, so that is we can say scheme of a nuclear reaction. Okay, so what are the different terms we write here? That is I, that is the incident particle, or we can say that is the incoming particle, incident particle, or simply we can say that is projectile. Okay, T, that is target nucleus, or that target nucleus is a stable nucleus. Okay, target nucleus. P, that is the product nucleus, and that product nucleus is formed when there is a breaking of a stable nucleus. Okay, product nucleus, that is O, that is outgoing particle, or simply we can say that may be a gamma ray. Okay, with emission of some energy, that is Q, that is Q value of energy, Q value of nuclear reaction. Okay, Q value of nuclear reaction. Okay, so this is a general scheme of nuclear reaction, but when we measure a nuclear reaction, then we find there are some conservation laws always takes place, or there is some conservation laws that must have to obey any nuclear reaction. Okay, so what are the different conservation laws used to measure the nuclear reaction? Okay, so generally all the nuclear reaction have to satisfy some conservation laws. Okay, and out of such conservation laws we can take some example like conservation of charge, conservation of energy, conservation of momentum, and conservation of mass number or nucleons. Okay, so different conservation laws satisfied by a nuclear reactions okay. So first conservation law is conservation of charge. Okay, law of conservation of charge. Second thing, that is conservation of energy. Okay, number 3, that is conservation of linear momentum. Okay, number 4, that is conservation of nucleons. Okay, or simply that is conservation of mass number. Okay, so these are the different conservation laws that have to satisfy by a nuclear reaction. Okay, that means we can say as per conservation of charge, the total charge before the nuclear reaction and the total charge after the nuclear reaction must be constant. Okay, that means we can say the total charge before the nuclear reaction is equal to total charge after nuclear reaction. Okay, we can take simple example like uranium nucleus. As in uranium nucleus, it always takes place like U92 to disintegrate baryon plus krypton. Okay, so baryon has 56 and here 36. Okay, and if we measure the charge value, and here the value of charge will be 92E. Okay, total charge before reaction is 92 and total charge after reaction, that is 56 plus 36. Okay, so the total charge will be 96. Sorry, the total charge will be 92. Okay, so before reaction the charge value must be equal to the charge after reaction. Okay, so that is called conservation of charge. Okay, second thing we say, that is the conservation of energy. Okay, that means the energy before reaction is equal to energy after reaction. Okay, energy before reaction must have, as we write in nuclear reaction, what is the scheme? I plus T goes to product plus outgoing plus some Q value. Okay, so in case of target nucleus, as we say, the target nucleus may be at rest. Okay, the target, if the target nucleus is rest, then what will be the value of the energy? That means here we have to measure the rest mass energy. Okay, and as the projectile is moving, that means we have to measure there the kinetic energy. Okay, so energy before reaction involves kinetic energy of the projectile or incident particle plus rest mass energy of the target nucleus, and that value must be equal to energy of the product particle plus energy of the outgoing element. Okay, so that says the conservation of energy, that is energy before reaction must be equal to energy after reaction. Okay, third things, that is a conservation of linear momentum. Okay, that means the momentum before reaction or the momentum before collision or before a nuclear reaction must be equal to the momentum after reaction. That means the total momentum of the particles entering into a nuclear reaction. Okay, and when we are calculating a nuclear reaction, we have to measure the momentum. Okay, before reaction the total momentum of the particles, that is incident plus target. Okay, because they are involved in a nuclear reaction. Okay, so total linear momentum of the particles entering into a nuclear reaction is equal to the total momentum of the product particles. Okay, that means we can say the total momentum after the nuclear reaction. Okay, understand? Last thing, that is the conservation of mass number. Okay, conservation of mass number or conservation of nuclear number says the total number of nucleons before reaction is equal to total number of nucleons after reaction. Okay, that means we can take a general scheme. Suppose in a nuclear reaction any radioactive element, suppose X, okay, and X contains suppose 100 number of nucleons. Okay, and when X disintegrate because of a integration of any neutron. Okay, suppose any neutron particle incident on a nucleus having the mass number or nuclear number 100, then suppose it converts to any product particle like having mass number suppose 80 with some outgoing particle, or suppose here we take 96, okay, and some alpha particle, okay, with emission of outgoing particle like alpha, okay. Alpha means we can say that is He24, okay. So alpha has the nucleons, 4 number of nucleons, okay, 97, okay. So if we look of the nuclear reaction, what we find, neutron when incident on a nucleus having the nucleon number 100, it converts to another nucleus having the number of nucleons, that is 97, with emission of an alpha particle, okay. Before reaction, the total mass or total number of nucleons, that is 100 plus 1, that is 101, okay, and after reaction, that is 97 plus 4, that is also 101, okay. So that is called conservation of mass number or conservation of nucleons. Before reaction, number of nucleons must be equal to number of nucleons after reaction, okay. So this is a scheme or the different laws, conservation laws for any nuclear reaction, okay. Now another thing that is very important, one can measure the Q value of that nuclear reaction, okay. So that means we can say we can measure the Q value of any nuclear reaction, that means the amount of energy evolved or amount of energy absorbed in any nuclear reaction, okay. So we can measure Q value of any nuclear reaction, okay, Q value of nuclear reaction, okay. So what is the scheme? Generally the scheme of a nuclear reaction is incident particle plus target nucleus with emission of a product with some outgoing particle, and there is a Q value of energy, okay. And when we measure the Q value of energy, we have to just measure the difference in energy between the incident side or reactant side to the product side, okay. So that means we can say the Q value of a nuclear reaction, okay, Q value of the nuclear reaction is the difference between sum of rest mass energy of the reacting particle with the sum of energy of the product particle, okay. There is a difference in energy between reactant side and product side, okay. Q value means we can say always there is a energy difference, change of energy, it may be positive or it may be negative depending upon the measurement of energy or depending upon the nuclear reaction, okay. So Q value of any nuclear reaction is the difference in the energy of the incident side and to the energy of the product side, okay. So simply we can write Q value of any nuclear reaction, that is the energy of a product plus energy of the outgoing particle minus energy of the reactant side, okay. That is the energy of the incident particle, okay. EP, that is the energy of the product, okay, energy of the outgoing particle minus energy of the reactant side, okay. That is the energy of the incident side of the nucleus, okay. So that difference in energy is known as Q value of any energy reaction, okay. And we can calculate that Q value of energy reaction by taking so simple example that helps you understand more about the Q value of a nuclear reaction, okay. Suppose we take a nuclear reaction like this one, okay, and in this nuclear reaction what is the energy, okay, energy of incident, energy of target, energy of product and energy of outgoing particle, okay. So if we measure the energy of the incident particle, that is total energy. Okay, total energy of I, that is incident particle, total energy of incident particle, that is we can say EI equal to m naught c square, sorry, mic square, that is mass of incident particle. Okay, that is the in form of Einstein mass energy relation. Okay, the total energy is sum of kinetic plus potential energy. Okay, and that is total energy of incident particle equals to EI plus mic square. Okay, that is the sum of kinetic and rest mass energy. Okay, second thing, total energy of target nucleus. Okay, as the target nucleus is rest, so we have to only measure the rest mass energy. Okay, so therefore mtc square. Okay, mt means that is the mass of target nucleus. Okay, then total energy of that product particle, total energy of the product particle equals to mpc square plus ep. Okay, so that is the energy of the product particle. Then total energy of outgoing element will be moc square plus E naught. Okay, so if we take the difference between energy in the nuclear reactant side to the energy in the product side, then we can measure the Q value of the nuclear reaction. Okay, so if we apply here the conservation of energy, suppose we take the consideration of conservation of energy, and as conservation of energy says energy before reaction is equal to energy after reaction. That means energy before reaction means we have to measure energy of incident particle and energy of target nucleus. Energy after reaction means we can say energy of the product particle plus energy of the outgoing element. Okay, so what is the difference of energy if we use the conservation law? According to conservation of energy, that is energy of the incident particle, that is mic square plus EI. Okay, then energy of the target nucleus, that is it is rest, that is mtc square is equal to energy before reaction, energy after reaction means energy of the product, that is mpc square plus ep plus energy of the outgoing, that is moc square minus plus E naught. Okay, and what is the measure of Q? Q equals to EP plus E naught minus EI. Okay, difference in energy or rest mass energy between reactant side to the product side. Difference in rest mass energy between the reactant side to the product side. Okay, so that is we can say, so take the calculation, this one and this one, that is EP plus E naught minus EI equals to mic square plus mtc square minus m naught c square. Okay, so if we take another term, must be there is also mpc square. Okay, so that value is equals to Q. So Q equals to mi plus mt, that is mass, sum of mass in the reactant side, incident plus target into square of the velocity of light minus mo plus mp, that is the sum of mass in the product side, okay, with the square of velocity of light. So this measures the Q value of any nuclear reaction, okay, and easily we can measure the mass, okay, and everyone knows the velocity of light, okay. So the Q value of the energy reaction depends upon mass in the reactant side and mass in the product side, okay, and if there is a variation of mass between reactant and product, okay, then the energy may be exothermic or energy may be endothermic, and that exothermic or endothermic reaction depends upon the difference in mass, okay. That means it may be possible that mass of the incident side is greater than mass of the product side, or may be possible that mass of the product side is greater than mass of the incident side, okay. So depending upon the variation of mass, a reaction may be endothermic reaction or a reaction may be exothermic reaction. So now let us look what are the different special cases depending upon the Q value of energy reaction, okay. So if in a Q value of energy reaction, one measures mass of incident particle plus mass of target nucleus is greater than mass of product particle plus mass of outgoing element, okay. If the mass of reactant is greater than the mass of product, then in such type of reaction we find value of Q must be positive, okay. When the mass of reactant is greater than mass of product, the value of energy is positive, okay. Value of energy is positive, that means a reaction, in such type of reaction energy is evolved, okay, energy emitted, and because of emission of energy such type of reaction is known as exothermic reaction, okay. The such type of reaction is known as exothermic reaction or exergic reaction, okay. If any nuclear reaction possesses positive value of Q, okay, that means we can say if the Q value of energy is positive, then such type of nuclear reaction is known as exothermic nuclear reaction. Second thing, if mass of reactant side is less than mass of product side, mass of reactant side is less than mass of product side, in such case Q value is negative, and that negative value of Q is that negative value of Q indicates that there is such type of reaction is known as endothermic reaction, endothermic reaction, okay. So if we get a negative value of energy, then such type of reaction is known as endothermic reaction, and if we get positive value of energy, then such type of reaction is known as exothermic reaction, okay. Understand? So these are the two different value or the two different type of reaction used in case of any nuclear reaction, okay. Understand? Thank you.